work. Hi. How's it going? Hey, let's do some basic moves today together. I'm going to show you some different punches and some deflections or blocks, depending on, what they are. I'm going to explain a few things to you about fists and body, etc. So let's do a little bit of a short class with each other today. Does that sound good? Okay, so first thing we do is we just bow to each other, and there's a lot of different ways to bow. I'm just going to use a basic one like this, and that's just to say, hey, welcome and respect to each other, that we agree not to try to hurt each other while training to improve and better ourselves, but at the same time testing and pushing and pulling on each other's boundaries to help us rise up and get better. Makes sense? But we want to be careful not to beat each other down too much or even injure ourselves when practicing, because doing that, well, it kind of ruins the whole fun of doing it in the first place. Although some people do love getting beat up. I mean, winning or losing, in a fight, you still usually get hit. And that's not a lot of fun necessarily recovering from. But there are some special people out there who kind of, like me, when I get hit, I tend to laugh. Okay, let's make fists real quick, okay? So let's try. So this would be called palm up, right? And palm down. Palm down, palm up. Cool. So let's go palm up. Bring your fingers together, okay? And then I want you to curl them right here from the very tip. Right from the very tip. Curl it in. See? This would be Puma fist, by the way. Pow! Or tiger claw. So many different types of, Okay, so here we go. Fold those fingers like this. See? Then continue to put them in the palm of your hand here. Now this could be difficult if you have nails. So if you have the long nails and, whoever you are with the long nails, I understand. You can do it like this, right? And then this goes here. But understand, if you hit with this at all, that's just gonna push and break your fingers. Make sense? So if you do it like this, because of your fingernails, you have to make sure to only hit right here on those knuckles. Another good way to do it would be to just go open hand then. If you've got the nails, just go palm strikes, open hand, slaps, chops, back chops, downward chops, hammer fists, back hammer fists, back fists, eye jabs, eye gouges. Makes sense? Another thing you can do, of course, if you have nails, is bring your hands together nice and tight like spears like this, and then rake towards the eyes, slap towards the groin, the ears, etc. Makes sense? But if you don't have those big nails, then you fold that, you fold it here, and then you put the thumb across here and you lock it in place. And then another way to do this, a good way to get the position of the wrist lined up is sometimes to basically hold a small stick, like you're holding a knife or a firearm, and then you point with these knuckles right here, just like you're aiming down them, just like a sights. See, look at that, I'm aiming right down those. Now if my fist is like this, see, then look, my wrist is bent. Now it doesn't look like it when you're punching. A lot of people punch like this because to them it looks like it's straight, but it's not. This is straight. You see? If I just let my hand dangle, you see, that's straight. But a lot of times when we make fists, we go like this and we turn it like that. A lot of people have their fists like this, right? Or like this. They're bent at the wrists, funny. And when they actually hit or make impacts, that can really jack up your wrist. Plus it takes so much of the power out of your strikes, okay? So, fist in the front, fist in the rear. Let's put this one about between chin and throat and out so that your elbow is still bent. We call this medium, a medium range. And then we'll take your rear hand and right out in front of your xiphoid process, between your groin and your xiphoid, that's where that floats. So this one is like your head, throat, upper body, but of course it can quickly, you know, multiple heights and locations of attacks coming in, right? But we want to just generally kind of float it here and then float the other one here. And we're going to bend those knees about 50-50 and get up on the balls of our feet a little bit, more like boxers do, more like Jeet Kune Do, more like Bruce Lee. Anyway, and then you kind of just walk along and stop. And that gives you your basic like middle stance, which puts your feet about a little bit like shoulder width apart or so. And then at about a 45-degree angle between the feet, and with the rear foot turned out slightly and the front foot pointed towards your target more. And that's a basic stance. Then we can switch. See? So if I go left foot forward, I put that left hand out here, lead, and our right hand is back here protecting. Of course, I could switch this stance up too and go like this. I used to fight like this too, tournament style. So many different styles, right? But if you switch it up, good to do too. This is a really good switch it up, switch it up. That's all you do. Just go back and forth with me. Step right foot forward, left foot forward, right foot forward, left foot forward, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Okay? Also, don't step heel toe if you can handle it. Step ball of foot to ball of foot to ball of foot. Slide your feet around unless it's after a kick. When you do that, you want to put it down on purpose. You don't want to be falling into it because you'll fall into okay? When you throw your kicks, put them out to a predetermined length that you know because you've practiced. And if they happen to be there, well then, they'll run into it. If they're not there, you don't fall forward and you don't get your leg grabbed and taken from you. Throw your kick to the distance that you know you have control and power. And pull it back. Always, the retraction of your strikes should be faster than the outward movement of your strike, if possible. This creates a whiplash effect. Bam! Once again, also helps prevent you from overextending and having your arm taken and then beaten with it. Okay, here we go, jab. Jab goes just like this. I rotate my hip, I rotate my front foot, I rotate my shoulder, and I extend straight, right down the pipe. We could also do like a jab cross or the step jab. We can also do short jab, you know, like little rabbit jabs. We can do straight punch forward like this, almost like an uppercut jab or the actual uppercut jab. It just depends on fist position. So straight or front, and then this would be right from here, directly in, is straight punch body, straight punch head. Anytime I go above my shoulder, what I try to do is turn my hand over. If I'm below, up here, above the shoulder. If I'm below shoulder, I try to strike like this or like this. And that's because you're much stronger. You can have a friend do it, try it. Hold your hand out like this, below your shoulder level, and have a friend push on it. You can even do it yourself. Just push on your own and try to hold it up there. Do that, and then go like this. You'll find you're a lot stronger, especially like that. Then go above your shoulder and have your arm like this, and you'll find that it's super weak, and that this is super weak. But this, what do you know? So, understanding your own body's physiology and how it lines up and works is important in all martial arts systems, in any type of, I don't care if you work at Dairy Queen. It's all the same. Timing, distance, speed, power, you know, all these things come together. And the whole point is to learn how to throw different strikes and attacks at your range, And if you practice well, you'll have close range, which could be like biting, headbutting, you know, shoulders, headbutts close in, bites close in, knees, feet stomps, feet trap, hand traps, gun captures, you know, weapon presses, checks and presses, a lot of very, very close in type fighting, including body throws, hip throws, leg throws, etc., etc. So that'd be like super close range, right? That's like right here. Okay? Then we have like close range, right? We have like right next to them, inside basically. And then we have our next one, which would be elbows and knees, and or short hooks, short grabs, slaps. A lot of the Wing Chun stuff, very inside fighting as they call it, between those two ranges. And then we move out into like hand range, right? And the hand range, so we got headbutts and throws and biting. Then we got elbows and knees and short range attacks of all kinds. Bah, bah, bah. Traps, foot stomps, etc. And this would be the same if you're holding a weapon, right? This is the same if you have a knife or a spear or anything else. You have all the way inside, and then you start getting out here to close range, and then you have long, and then we have very long range, which is feet. And then of course, if you have a longer item, such as something you can throw, or a spear or a gun or whatever, then that's the extended long range, right? All right, let's go through a few things now. Here we go. We go jab and back. We go straight and back. Now, there's also a cross. The cross is like the straight punch, except for it doesn't go right down the center. It goes from an angle out here across and through the center. So, for instance, straight jab, straight punch, cross jab, cross punch. Makes sense? Now they're both going forward, but the crosses are slightly angular. And then these angles in different systems will turn into angular attacks of all kinds. So, jab, and then I'm gonna drop this hand down here to protect my center anytime I take my rear hand and I go to the head. If I go to the body, I'm just gonna leave this here. If I go to the head, I'm gonna drop this here for protection. Okay? Same thing with elbows. I throw a head elbow here, I'm gonna pop this right here, because I'm gonna probably catch another elbow. But it's right here. And this can work for a lot of things. It's to follow into so many different things, right? So, but if I throw an elbow with the rear hand, look what I'm doing. I drop this hand down to protect. Boom! Makes sense? See it here floating? Boom. Okay? So we go jab. Look at that. I drop it down. Head, head. Now what if I shoot body here? Guess what? I put this one out here. Body, 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 body. Make sense? Body, this one just stays. Cool? Huh? Boom. 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 Just like that, okay? So one hand will shift positions to the other hand to cover your center or your upper area or lower. And that's the way I do it. It's a real basic minimum. So let's go through some more punches. Let's do some uppercuts. So uppercut, drop here, make sure that fist is straight, tighten the fist right before impact, and you drive it up, and then up, and you rip it back. We can also throw uppercut like this to the body, where we push it through, like the ribs and stuff. So there's different ways to throw that, right? We have one where we're going impact, almost like a reverse punch, but because it comes up this upper angle, it's an uppercut. The uppercut to the body also could be like this, right into here. You push in under the rib and drive it up. Very painful, very, very painful. So you have different ways of throwing the uppers, right? I usually do the jackhammer because I want it to come back right to ready to fire again for combos. I'm just showing you single attacks right now, right? Uppercut head, uppercut body. See, I went head here. What should I do with this hand? Drop it. But then again, if the person is shorter, should I drop it? No, because this is still covering that. So every person that you spar with, work with, whatever, your hand positions aren't always going to be exactly the same. They're going to be fluid and moving. But what I don't want to see is this. Ha! Oh, because we're not doing Thai fighting right now, which by the way is like this. And then they're trained to take those hits and grab them. And that's all part of the defense and offense game of that particular style. Okay? But for just everyday normal people, we just want this nice, easy middle stance where we can be like, hey, easy, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. You see, you just, as soon as they go for you, you just handle it. And then move away and then get help, okay? You do not continue on somebody, right? Do not continue. You only do as much self-defense as you absolutely have to. If at all possible, avoid the situation, call for help, call the police, go somewhere else. Be a responsible, intelligent human being and walk away. But don't turn your back. All right? First, do no harm. But sometimes we get pushed into these situations. I've been pushed into situations, and yeah, I could have chose still to walk away, but then I would have watched several people get beaten. And I didn't think that was an okay thing to do. And not only that, the people that were being attacked didn't start the attacks. They didn't start any physical altercation with the other people. The other people came at them and started an altercation. And I looked and watched one of my best friends at the time get hit in the face hard against like this brick wall. And that's all it took. I, within a quarter of a second, knocked the person out while they were in the air, still throwing their punch. And then I turned and kicked another person in the stomach and put them down. And then I turned and grabbed another person and had them under my arms and was about to start wailing on them. But luckily the waitress, a really good friend of mine at the time, she yelled, "Dongo, don't kill him." And so I let him go. And then finally the police showed up. But it was 100% self-defense because these guys came running at me with a broken 40-ounce bottle. They broke it on the way across the parking lot. He came over to try to stab me and two other people. So I took him down. I put him down quick. But I didn't keep beating on him. As a matter of fact, after the police showed up, guess what I did? I helped them get up. I helped them regain their consciousness. And then I gently walked them over to their friends and where the police were at. I'm so sorry I had to do that. And I walked back away. That's a tough situation. I've been in many, many situations like that. I pulled knives out of people's hands, like a woman's hand. She was trying to stab the guy that was in the truck, and she was wrapped in the seatbelt, and he was driving, dragging her, and like stuff like that. Okay, that's not even from being in the military. That's just me on my own time. Okay, so we go jab, straight, uppercut, uppercut. Let's throw that round hook. I'm gonna throw that like a medium range. You have a close range hook, which is like here. It's like a ripper, like this. You know, you just rip it, like you're trying to pull their face off. And then you have your medium hook or round punch, like this, right? Still trying to strike with these two knuckles here. And then you have your long range, and then you have your haymaker. Or some people call it like the baseball punch. They literally will throw like they're throwing a baseball. and then follow through with their fist. So, once again, these two knuckles here, and you really got to pay attention to getting your wrist, learning your wrist position for striking. I suggest a soft bag, not a chunk of wood. But this is a good teacher too, because you see, I work my control, because if I throw it too far and I throw it too hard and I throw it too fast, ow, ow, that's a good teacher, right? Make sense? Imagine if I cracked my shin on that. I'm not a bamboo kicker, so my shin would crack in half. Okay, where were we? Okay, we got the round. Or down here, right? Once again, depends. If you're inside, you're probably gonna keep it like, once again, you know, as we go from long range to medium range to close range to inside range, hand position changes too for your guard and for your defense. So we go from like this long range out here, and then as it comes in closer, we go medium range, right? And then as we get into elbow range, our fists get even closer here, because it's closer. And then when we get even tighter, we get to where we're almost just like this. Like, okay? Anyway, that's how I do it. Oh. Go on, worm. I didn't want to kill that worm's next. Okay. Whew. All right. Straight, up, round, bam, bam. Now we're gonna go back fist, pew, turn it over, slap with the back of the hand, but if you can, once again, try to get it up here on the back of those knuckles right here. Crack. Okay. You could also do a back chop. You could also do a back slap. Right? Yeah, we could also do a back claw. We could also just do an open hand back slap as well. Okay, back fist head, boom, back fist body. See how I change position? And then we'll go back fist head and back fist body. And then the other way this is meant to be is spinning, you know, spinning. Cool? Then we have our hammers, our chops. This is a downward, boom, boom, hammer, like an axe, boom, or to the body, right here to the solar plexus. Or if you're down low, boom, strike that groin. Or if you're down low into the sides somewhere, and if you're in heavy duty self-defense, whatever situation, they got you down and you're up a little, strike on the inside or outside of the knee or right behind here. Strike the feet, strike the ankle. You strike anything you can. There's different nerves in different places. And if you can hit them hard enough, in any way, shape, or form, it'll give you a moment. That's all you need to get out of there. Remember, in self-defense, it's about getting these little windows where you can escape. Yeah. If your focus is on fighting them, then once you have the upper hand, our brains tend to stick around. And that's not smart, because that's like we're predicting the future, that we've won and everything's gonna be okay. And my whole thing is, until you're, you know, like with police or with family or back in your own home or wherever, safe, like truly safe and separated completely from that person, you're in danger. Don't hang around. Don't think you have the upper hand and you're gonna finish this and beat them. You know, don't. You know, if you subdue them, you know, think about it. Where are you? Are you isolated? Can you tie them up? Can you not? Like, do you even want to get close to them? See, all that time thinking, when really it should just be about getting somewhere safe as soon as possible. And that should be on your mind non-stop. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Let's go over these again. We got straight. Boom, boom, up, boom, boom, round, bam, bam. We got the back fists, poof, poof, poof. We got downward strikes, poof, downward chops, poof, poof, bam. Okay, cool. Those are some basic strikes and the basic how to make your fist. Some basic kicks, your front kick. Always lift your knees on every kick first. Try to get them above your waist if possible, and also try to kick at waist level. The way you start with this is you bring your knee up and then you just kick downward at the floor, but you don't put your foot back down. Let's just do 10 of these real quick. And even if all you can do is get your knee this high and go like this, then you do that. It doesn't matter. Every little one of these things gets you closer and closer and closer to being able to do something else. And I know some people, their legs aren't working right now, so this part of the video isn't going to help you. However, it will help you, because it doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair or not. People in wheelchairs get attacked too. People in walkers get attacked. Everybody gets attacked when they least expect it. And not just from people, but from animals and stuff also. But I'm mostly concerned about people right now and helping you with that. And so maybe you can't use your legs, so you're not going to do this practice. That's fine. Practice more of this other stuff that I showed you, you know? But also watch and learn what a kick looks like. Because a person, an attacker, will still kick a person in a wheelchair. They will still kick a person on crutches. They will still, do you understand? Like I've seen this happen, and I've been in the position before. Okay, so once again, self-defense is a mix of things in martial arts. Sure, you want just quick, straight, pa, 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 just do this if they do that, you know, and practice it. But that's not how it works out there in the real world. You know, you try to practice as many different scenarios as you can, dealing with people coming at you with just about everything in the world. And, you know, you try all these different ways, but that's usually in a classroom, you know, with other people that you've agreed that you're not going to hurt each other. And even if you said you're going to go really hard until you tap, or, you know, somebody gets hurt or knocked out, it's still not the same. Now, if you go out into the gravel parking lot and you start, you know, scrapping it up, well, that's a little more realistic, because the reality is you're going to end up in that gravel more than likely, and you're going to end up being rolled around in it and dragged around in it and getting cut and scuffed and all that kind of stuff. And there's a coastie helo. So anyway, watch the kicks. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then set it down. Let's do the other side. Once again, try to get your foot so it's like this. Like pretend you're wearing high heels, you see? Stand and walk on the balls of your feet if you can. And then that's what you want to hit with when you do a front kick. Boom, you want to hit with the ball of your foot. You can also do a heel kick style. In order to do the heel kicks, you really have to focus on having your hamstring, your calf, and all the backside of your muscles very, very stretched very regularly and have really good flexibility, so you can go like that without pulling those muscles. I can feel the strain just doing that, so I need to work on my stretching for those. In order to prevent those injuries, one of the simplest things to do is to strike with the ball of the foot instead. It also helps you flex these muscles so that you can hold your kick where you want it for targeting and precision a little bit better than just a heel stomp. The heel stomp also shortens the distance of the kick. So if I do a heel type front kick, it only goes out so far before I really start pulling my balance and losing everything. So it's a little bit more of a short kick, which is great for stopping somebody, or, you know, kicking a door in or something. Good to the face. Definitely scoop kicks and stuff to the knees and all that stuff. Phenomenal. But I prefer, when I'm going to the body, groin, body, legs, all of it, I prefer to do the kick where I push with the ball of the foot. And also you'll see it's much easier to extend it farther. Look at the distance. Heel kick, ball of foot kick. Let's go here. Heel kick, heel kick, ball of foot kick. Okay, you see the difference in the distance? It's only a couple of inches, but that makes a big difference. Once again, you have to practice so you know where your end of your kick is, so that you can throw it that way every time and then let them run into it or get hit on the way out from being too close. That's another thing, is they're moving away. And that's just with us standing still. I haven't even got to us changing our distance, have I? That's because this is the basics. So, front kick looks like that. A lot of people swing this up. Swinging up is really easy to block against, and it doesn't have as much power, but it still hurts. Then you have a round kick. The body has to turn, or a leg already has to be forward. It's very hard to keep your body forward and throw a round kick because that's a diagonal. It's not an actual round. So the round kick, to throw it properly, you bring the knee up and pivot on the ball of the other foot. And then, sorry, I'm on really uneven surface here, trying to show you this and break it down, and I'm out of practice myself. So here we go, and we get even, level with the dirt, boom, and throw that kick. If you notice, I have my toes pulled back so I don't break them. The other way to throw the round kick is like this, where you strike with the ball of the foot, and it's very similar to a side kick position foot, except you're striking with the ball of the foot, like say, comes into the rib here, or comes in the mouth here. So we'd go like this, boom, round kick like that, see? Make sense? Or round kick with the top of the foot, or even into the shin and instep area here, depending on what you're striking. Okay? So that's what a round kick looks like. Alrighty, and then a side kick, same thing, body has to turn, knee comes up, and we push it out. We push it out. And this one is going to be striking with the heel and along what we call the knife edge. So you can either go flat foot and pull your toes back the same way you do for the front kick, right? Or the round kick if you're doing this style. I do this style. But your side kick is like this. And then we're striking with the heel and or the knife edge. So this is one type of side kick, and that's the other. And of course, there's more than that too, right? I'm just showing you some real basics, so take it easy on me. That's all the kicks I'm going to cover today, and all the punches I'm going to cover today. Next time, I'll try to do some more stuff. Let's do some real quick blocks. So this one, this lead hand right here, we just call this like little slider, little sweeper, little swatter. It's like a windshield wiper, but it doesn't need to go all the way, does it? We don't need to do this all the way. You just need to move whatever's coming at you enough to deflect it so that it continues on past you without striking you. You know, it's like the Matrix. Here comes the bullet. Oh, and I go, whew, just enough so it goes shoo, right? Because if I do this, whoa, I've gone way out, and they can easily change their tactic on me. I don't want to go way out like that unless I'm specifically moving to change my position on them. Like for instance, let's say this is coming right at me here, and instead of just deflecting just enough that if it kept going, it would move right past me, I go all the way out here. Well, that's because I'm going here. You see, otherwise, if we're doing the standoff and we're playing this back and forth cat and mouse, this in and out game, then when that comes at me, I just want to move just enough, so it misses, and I can strike immediately or at the same time, right? So it's like coming at me. I can check it, move my head slightly, and strike. Boom! All at the same time. Oops. The dangers of sparring next to the tent. Oh, that's my, that's an air vent down there. Okay, well, let's call that good for, so we got this one, or, okay, you got this one. Can also go like this, or like this, or like this. This can go like this, 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 go like this. There's so many different ways. No matter what you do, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Now, everything we did today, I pretty much stayed stationary when throwing the attacks and stuff to kind of show you, but we then move out to leg range and practice the same punches. You move out to leg range, you check your distance, good. Obviously I'm outside of hand range. Now I'm gonna have to step in and go into that mountain or climbing, more traditional karate movement. I could move my whole body in, and just move right into that range. But a lot of times I'm just gonna, I'm gonna step here first, assess the situation, and then I'm either gonna continue in or I'm gonna shoot back out and try again, right? So that can be very helpful. But if you overextend, it's easy to pull you off. So you gotta be careful. It's always a balance. Don't go too deep, don't go too shallow. Keep those knees bent at all times and keep working on making good fist. Control, 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 and pull back to position, pull back to position, pull back to position. All right, have a good one. Peace from Deeja Sensei. Hope you have a good day today. Hope you're able to follow along with some of this stuff. And take care of yourself. I wish you wellness, calmness, peace, balance, purpose, safety, water, self-care and self-love.